The points A and B have coordinates -3, 5 and 13, -4 respectively. Given that AB is a diameter of the circle C, find an equation for C. Okay, so let's start by writing down the equation for a circle. Okay, so it is, I'm just going to write it here real small, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So what information do we need for a circle's equation? We need the center, hk, and of course we need the radius. Okay, so this is the information that we are looking for. We're looking for the value of h, we are looking for the value of k, and we are looking for the value of r. If AB is the diameter, it means that the center is the midpoint of AB, and the radius is half the length of AB. Okay, so what we are going to do first is we are going to find the midpoint of A, coordinates -3, 5, and B, coordinates 13 and -4. So this is point A, and this is point B. So how can we go about finding the midpoint? I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so in order to find the midpoint, what formula will I use? Okay, what is the values of x1 and x2? Okay, so it's -3 plus 13 over 2. y1 is 5, y2 is -4, so we are going to add those as well. So it's 5 plus -4, a positive and a negative equals a negative. Okay, so if we simplify this, we will get 10 over 2 and 5 minus 4, so that will be 1 over 2. So our midpoint will be 5 and 0.5 or a half. Okay, so this is our midpoint. Now we need to find the length of AB. How can we find the length of AB? We have to use the distance formula, right? So what is the distance formula? Okay, and if we simplify that, we get 16 squared plus -9 squared, and that gives us 337. All right, now we need to find the radius. Okay, so the radius is half the diameter. So that means the radius is a half times the diameter. What is the diameter? It's the square root of 337. So the radius is equal to, the radius squared will be equal to 337 divided by 4. Okay, so the radius is equal to 337 divided by 2, but the radius squared is equal to 337 divided by 4. So now we have the midpoint. So we have the value for h and k. That's the center of the circle, which is the midpoint of line AB. And we have the radius. Now we can write the equation of the circle, right? Okay, so what is my h value? This is my h value, right? What is my k value? This is my k value, and this is my radius squared. Okay, so the final equation will look like this. X minus 5 squared plus y minus 0.5 squared is equal to 337 divided by 4. Remember, this is the value of your radius squared. So this is the final answer. Let's have a look at the next question. The circle C has center 1, 5 and passes through the point A, -4, 3. Find an equation for C. This counts 4 marks. So we have to find the equation of a circle when the center and one point on the circle are known. So what is r squared if we know a point on a circle with the center hk? What is r squared then? Remember, it's going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So what is r squared if we know a point on a circle with the center? R squared will then be equal to x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. So we know that the center C, the center of circle C is 1, 5. So that's going to be our h value and that's going to be our k value. And we also know that point A has the coordinates -4 and 3. We have to calculate r squared. Okay, what we are going to do first is we are going to find the difference in our x values and the difference in our y values, because that will give us the radius. Okay, so let's find the difference in our x values. So we are going to say delta x is equal to x2 minus x1. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. So here we have -4 minus 1. That gives us -5. Let's work out the difference in y values. So we are following the same method. So it's y2 minus y1. We've labeled our x and y coordinates. So our second y coordinate is equal to 3. Our first y coordinate is equal to 5. 3 minus 5 is equal to -2. So now to calculate the radius squared, -5 squared plus -2 squared. Now -5 times -5 is equal to 25. -2 times -2 is equal to 4. So that gives us an answer of 29. So the radius squared is equal to 29. Okay, so now we can write the equation. The equation will look like this. X minus 1 squared plus y minus 5 squared is equal to 29. So why did we square the differences? Because the radius length uses the distance formula, squaring avoids negatives. Okay, let's move on to part B. Find an equation for the tangent to C and A, giving your answer in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are integers. So we have to write the equation of a tangent to a circle at a given point. How is a tangent line related to the radius at the point of contact? They are always perpendicular. So if you missed this, I asked, how is a tangent line related to the radius at a point of contact? The answer is they are always perpendicular. So what we are going to do first to answer question B is we are going to find the gradient of the radius from the center. Okay, so here we have the center, it's 1, 5, and we are going to find the gradient of this line that connects the center to point A. So remember, the gradient is equal to the difference in your y values divided by the difference in your x values. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be your difference in your y values. So it's 3 minus 5 divided by your difference in your x values. So it's -4 minus 1. Okay, 3 minus 5 is equal to negative 2. Negative 4 minus 1 is equal to negative 5. A negative divided by a negative is equal to a positive, so it is 2 over 5. So we have a positive gradient. We have a gradient, it's 2 over 5. Now we know that the gradient of the tangent is going to be the negative reciprocal. Remember, when we have two perpendicular lines, the gradient of the first line multiplied by the gradient of the second line must give us negative 1. So the product of the two gradients must give us negative 1 if the two lines are perpendicular. So that means the gradient of the tangent is going to be the negative reciprocal. Okay, so the gradient of the tangent is going to be the negative reciprocal of 2 over 5. What is the negative reciprocal of 2 over 5? It is negative 5 over 2. Okay, now we have to work out the equation of the line that goes through A with a gradient of negative 5 over 2. So now we can use this formula, y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1. Okay, so what is our first y value? It is equal to, well, the y value that we are using is we are using point A. So the y value that we are using is going to be 3. What is m? M is equal to negative 5 over 2. And what is the x value? It's equal to negative 4. And negative times a negative equals a positive. So it becomes x plus 4. Okay, now we just expand the brackets. So this side we have y minus 3. Okay, x times negative 5 over 2 gives us negative 5 over 2x. 4 times negative 5 over 2 gives us what? Gives us negative 10. Okay, so here we have minus 10. Now we want to get rid of this fraction, so we are going to multiply everything by 2. So this will be multiplied by 2. This will then be negative 5x. This whole thing must be multiplied by 2, so this becomes negative 10 times 2. So this becomes 2y minus 6 equals negative 5x minus 20. And then we rearrange it to the integer form. So it becomes 5x. It becomes positive because we are taking it over to the other side of the equal sign. 5x plus 2y plus, what is minus 6 plus 20? It is equal to 14 equals 0. So you can see it's in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. So this is the final answer for part B.